We got to talk about the attempted Christian Cage promo, which turned into a Kenny Omega interruption. And Don Callis and Kenny Omega were absolutely on fire. They did an outstanding job at having everything go according to plan, as Don said. And, he did so good at selling it and talking about it and kind of just, playing off of it. Obviously, it's not anything that they expected to turn out that way, but it was a great promo by Don. He, hyping up Kenny Omega as the best in the world. He's the king of the death match. They did so great at leaning into the F up, and then Kenny getting on the mic. And I feel like he's really rubbing off, the Good Brothers are rubbing off of them and talking, some of the vulgarness that we've been hearing on BTE. If you've been watching BTE, he's like telling Don to get different moves on him, like kind of mimicking what he did. We won't talk about that. We'll try to keep it a little PG and stuff, but it was, I saw on Twitter,
funny,
the Dark Order was posting some stuff on Twitter. John Silver said something like, if Kenny Omega was in the Dark Order, he'd be number 69 or something like that. So Stu Grayson had a tweet. So there's some funny stuff that was being thrown on social. But this whole segment, I mean, I said this segment was outstanding, but obviously the Inner Circle one topped it. But this leading into it was one of my favorite segments of the night. Eddie came out and then clocks Kenny, and then of course Moxley shows up, and then Christian Cage finally shows up. We still didn't hear from him, but he didn't have to say much. And, he went face to face with Kenny Omega. And if this is where they're going with him, putting him in the main event spotlight, I'm all for it, man. I think this match is going to be bananas. It's going to be a battle for sure. And like you said before, if, when Kenny does beat Christian Cage, because we still think Kenny's going to be champ for months and months and months, it's not going to hurt Christian Cage. It's going to elevate him and just show what he's got to offer. So this whole trifecta, all these 6 guys in the ring, I really hope Moxley and Eddie put down the Good Brothers once and for all, so that we can get them off of AEW television and then shift focus to Kenny Omega and Christian Cage.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's because the Good Brothers, I got to give them credit. They're good at what they do, because, man,
we're talking about them. Yeah.
And it's very rare where bad guys are so, like, you really don't, like, nowadays bad guys are the cool, like, so often they're the cool ones, right? They're cool, they're easy to root for. We just got done talking about Britt Baker and how charismatic she is and stuff. But dude, like, the Good Brothers, they're the type of bad guys that I just, like, I really hate seeing them. I hate when they're around. I'm not a Good Brothers guy, and that's a testimony to what they're doing. So, and they are certainly poisoning Kenny too, man. With Don Callis, they are, man. Like, Kenny is full on heel, bro. The way he was mocking Kingston tonight in that promo, just how, like, and you and I talked about this before, like between Revolution and Dynamite tonight, how they were going to do this. And you talked about how Kenny might mock some of the anxiety and, like, mental health stuff. And you thought that was going to happen. And that's kind of exactly the road that they went down. Kenny kind of mocking and really getting in his face and, like, oh, boo boo, got a detention, little PTSD from, and really, really rubbed it in.
Big time.
I think that, like, that was an example of, like, the Kenny Omega that, like, we were used to seeing with, like, just a year ago. This is a very different version of him. He's definitely getting poisoned and manipulated by these guys, and they're only reaffirming, like, making him be more bad. So really liked, though, Christian coming out and kind of just, I think the slow play, we all want to hear him talk. We all know Christian can cut a promo with the best of them.
Yeah.
So I think that, like, the slow play, even though we want to hear it, this is exactly what we love about AEW, is that they know it's when to do the slow play, when to kind of keep us coming back for more. Yep. Christian's not going anywhere, man. He's around for the long haul. Him going one-on-one with Kenny is going to be an instantaneous, great matchup. Christian's got that again, when I talked about it with Ethan Page, it's very fitting, Christian Cage and Ethan Page. But when I talked about it with Ethan Page, he's kind of got that like all around move set. Christian's got that kind of style too, and I think that with a veteran mind like him, he and Kenny are going to put on a heck of a match. The feud, the build up to that, is going to be money. And if this leads to Mox, Kingston, and Christian going against Kenny and the Good Brothers, dude, like, hey, I'm all for that, man.
Me too. That would be some great stuff. And I know I love a big faction versus faction and multi-talented matches as much as a one-on-one too. So I think that would be very appealing as you slowly build up to a one-on-one match to Cage versus Omega for the World Championship. So I am definitely all for that. And
yeah, I hear you. I think that like, the reason why it's important too is because, we kind of wonder like, who is the next challenger for Kenny, right? Like,
yep.
Kenny, I thought they were going to slow play Kenny versus Mox. I thought that Mox was going to get his title shot down the road. But now that Kenny has beaten Mox, who is his next clear-cut contender? And for me, you could say Lance Archer, right? But like, you don't want to have him get fed and lose again to Kenny, and we don't like lose again in the world title championship match, right?
Right.
And you have to be careful because we don't see Kenny losing the belt anytime soon, right? You and I both don't see that happening anytime soon. If anything, I think he's going to add another title to his collection with what we heard on Impact and what is down the road for him.
Coming up next month.
Yeah, so I think that AEW is playing it smart here, and I know that there might be some fans out there who are curious as to, wow, like Christian's just jumping the line, huh? But you got to think about it. He's getting the veteran treatment, and he also he's a safe play from a company standpoint because Christian, can have a great match with Kenny. He could potentially still lose to Kenny.
Right.
And it's not going to hurt him. It's not going to diminish his star power. It's not going to make him feel like he's less of an attraction. And it's going to allow Kenny's title reign to continue and have matches against big name guys, still defending those without sacrificing a Pac, without sacrificing a Lance Archer. There is homegrown talent on the AEW roster that you obviously want to see get that title shot, but let's allow that to play out a little bit down the road. Obviously, we want to see Hangman get that chance too.
Yep.
Let's just allow that to play out a little bit. I think personally it makes sense from that perspective.